What is going on, Adobe Live? It is your boy Brandon Gross. Welcome to another segment of XD Daily Creative Challenge. I'm super excited to be here with you guys today. We have one final day this week since this is the final day of this Daily Creative Challenge because next week is Adobe Max, and if you haven't signed up already, you're going to want to do so. But before we begin, I do want to say hi. What's going on, Wade, Jessica, Laura? What's happening? Wade, it's been a while. It's been too long. Peg, what is going on? Meziu, Lauren, by the way, shout out to your amazing Discord design submission. And by the way, the rest of you guys, if you're in the chat and you submitted something to Discord, super fire this week. I'm excited to take a look at those towards the end of our stream today. But with that said, let's talk about what we're doing today and the coolness that we're about to embark on today. So let me go ahead and share my screen real quick. And for those of you who are arriving here, last day of the DCC, very simply in the future or if today you want to join us in our challenge, go to behance.net/challenge/XD and you can join us for really what we did for this week. You can follow along with videos that we have done on Adobe Live as well as download the starter files that we've done this week. So we've done a lot of cool stuff. And by the way, if you haven't already joined our community on Discord, go do so by hitting this blue button and following the steps. You'll receive a daily challenge. You'll join our community in Discord. You'll be able to hang out with us on Adobe Live, and you can share your finished work with us on Discord, which we'll talk about towards the end. But let's talk about what we're doing today. And by the way, today is Friday. What are your guys, some of your weekend plans? Let us know. What's going on, Unicorn? And by the way, before I forget, those of you guys on YouTube, because I can't see your beautiful chats, come on over to Behance after hitting that like button and come join the Behance family so we can answer any of your questions and things of that nature. All right, so today we're going to be doing unique menus. We're going to be creating an animated mobile app drawer menu using Auto-Animate, kind of something like this. Just bear with me as the animation kind of starts off from the beginning. I'll tell you what exactly we're going to be doing today. Thank you, Wade, for the starter file. Much love. So right here, the menu pulls up the drawer, and there we go. That's exactly what we're doing today. And if you have downloaded the XD file, where's my XD? Here we go. You will have this already built for you. And today, live, we're going to explain how this works. So we have this in drag animation. Very simple. We have it while we pull up and pull down. So we're recreating this today in the 20-ish minutes that we have left. So let's begin. All right. So if you have downloaded the starter file, you will have everything that you need to really essentially reverse engineer what we're going to be doing here together. And if I go too fast, just watch this again. It will be on Behance. So get ready and steady. So for myself, I kind of just pulled all of the assets out that I'm going to be reusing again to rebuild what we're doing here today. And I've just basically created a new artboard here. Ruth says we're ready for coffee this time. Yes, I had it. I am ready with much energy. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create this menu. And so because I like to use reference so much, first thing I did was I created the shape, which I very easily did, kind of creating like I'll show you guys from scratch so you guys can follow along. It's pretty easy. I just created an artboard, and I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna zoom in, make this the same size as my artboard here, and we're not gonna leave it as a rectangle. We're gonna use our little cursors here to kind of make some curvature, and what I'm gonna do here is I'm actually gonna double click, and if you guys see this rectangle here will actually change to a path. You see, if I double click it, and I'm going to try to figure out where the center is, put a path, pull it up, and I'm just going to double click it to make sure that there's some curvature. And on top of that, I can finagle with the sides. I think last time I just deleted them. And I can mess with the curvature of these points here. So I'm just going to select 1, 2, and I can play with the sides. You can make it your own. I can double click them and mess with these you design it, or you design it how you wish. I'm not gonna go into all of the different paths and things that you can do. You can shape it how you wish. But essentially, that's how we got to this shape. And what we did for the backdrop is we just went to the drop shadow, turned it on, and we increased the blur here. So we have the shadow in a 3 position, which means it is, if you guys can see this, if I push up and down, I'm essentially manipulating where the shadow is going to appear. We want it to appear on the top side of the shape, so we have it at 3, and I essentially just blurred it to like 99. If I have it to, let's say 5, I zoom in here, it's a harsher edge, and it doesn't go reach that far. So I'm just gonna take this up to 99, press enter, and we have that nice blur, the nice fluffiness. All right, so now we're going to mess around with our icons. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm just going to take this little snapshot that I took from the animation. Again, this is me. You don't have to do this. You can measure things out if you so desire, but this helps your boy out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use it. I've scaled this to the artboard size, and I'm just going to use this to kind of measure out where I want my circles to be. And rather than just doing the circles, I'm actually going to use squares. And you guys will see why when we start getting to animating. So I'm going to utilize my square here. I'm going to pull some of my colors from here. So I'm going to press I on the keyboard and going to pick that green color. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm just going to go ahead and actually what I can do is I can select all of these, and I think I can add all these colors to my library. We're just going to do that. There's more than one way of doing this, but so I don't have to keep going eye picker, I just want all the colors in my color swatches. So we're going to make this one yellow. Duplicate, we're going to make this one purple. And this next one, we're going to rock with that nice pastel blue. And what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to just use my alignment tools to make sure that everything is nicely and well distributed in terms of space. I'm going to use Shift and try to find the center of this artboard, which we did. And what I'm going to do from here is pretty simple. I'm just going to pull all of these things from a rectangle into a circle, and it will totally make sense why in just a moment. Some of you guys might be like, Brandon, why don't you just do a circle? It will be explained when we start animating. And I apologize for the sound of Discord coming in and out. I'm not sure if you guys can hear that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the border here. And I'm going to just we need to grab this little knob here. And I have it very nicely over here. I'm going to copy it. Peg says, waiting to see code if ever. My friend, that is when you utilize some amazing plugins that work with XD that actually allow you to make what you have in your designs code free. There's 2 things. There's Bravo app, there's Anima, so definitely leverage those. And there's also no code platforms like Editor X and other things that you can actually take your designs not using code to leverage your skills as a designer to create amazing things. So XD is purely to be able to communicate the vision of the design, animation, if you're working with a developer or for yourself before you get to the no-code stage, things of that nature, since we're kind of in an era where designers can literally do from end to end, create products without knowing how to code. So with that said, now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab my icons here. I'm just going to Shift select these things. Whoops. I'm just gonna select 1, 2, 3. And by the way, all of these icons, I'll explain where I got them. You can get them in XD. I just don't want to search them again. So if I can just pull this off to the side. All right, there we go. So all of these icons were pulled from a plugin called Icons for Design. You can search up QR. I searched up a circle for this, calculator, and a list. So you can grab all of those things very easily with the Icons for Design plugin. All right, so I'm just gonna situate all of these inside of our circles. I don't know why this one is like the hardest to grab. All right, let's see. Work with me QR code. All right. So I'm just gonna situate these in all of our circles, and then we can finally get to animating. Using my alignment tool, so we got green is good to go, yellow is good to go. Just easily centering them with our alignment tools. I'm selecting both the circle and the icon. But out of curiosity, who has you, because I know there's a lot of people that do attend these daily creative challenges who are either new to XD and they see the design and then they wonder, well, how do I translate this into code? Have any of you all used plugins for XD that make that happen? Or did you know that there was plugins that actually allowed for that to happen? All right, so we have, and while you guys are answering that or not answering that in the chat, because we can have a little bit of a discussion on it. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to duplicate this. Actually, what I'm going to do before. Yep, Lauren, Anima, exactly. I'm going to group some of our things. I do need to bring this menu item down here, and you'll see why just in a second. So let me okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to group all of these pieces. I'm going to go back to my layers panel, group, and I'm actually going to name them so I don't get lost. We're going to name this yellow, purple. Peg says, last I used XD, I believe, before they had the plugins. Well, Peg, it is now time to return because we have all of the plugins for your needs. Joan, I'm glad you dig the keys, as you did yesterday. But you know what? It's glad the keys also appreciate being appreciated. You know, they show up every day working so hard, so diligently, and it's nice when someone shouts out and says, "Hey." All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm actually going to duplicate this. You guys will see in a second why. I'm going to name them card words. Oops. There we go. I'm going to name that over here as well. And what is this group? This is blue. My understanding is that it's limited, but my understanding is limited. All is good, my friend. All of our understanding is limited. That's why we all learn. The chat teaches me like 24/7, and I try to teach you the very little that I have that I can muster in 30 minutes. Rob, new to XD. Well, come for the tie, stay for XD. And if you guys have any questions about XD, essentially just to get it out there, XD is a program that allows you to, allows you to create not only just like social assets, for social media, but it allows you to animate. For example, there's a lot of people that I know who actually create logo animations in XD, but in this case, what we're talking about is how to prototype an app menu, and after prototyping it, you can work with the developer with the vision of what you have, or if you want to take another step, the plugins that we've been talking about, whether it be Bravo app or Bravo app actually lets you, if you're creating an app, create an app from scratch in XD, no code necessary, and you can ship that app to the Apple or Google App Store straight from Bravo. It's super cool. If you're looking for apps, definitely go that way. Anima is more so live prototypes, super cool. And if you want to take another step, check out Editor X. But yeah, just some things. So there's a whole bunch of use cases. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to group this with our green circle. So I'm going to select this. Ooh, sneaky. I didn't group this yet. Okay. So we got green. I almost left it out. Okay. Now I'm going to select this. I'm going to try to scale this just a little bit. I know it looks ugly now, but just bear with me. And I'm going to select our green card here, and I'm going to put green plus words. This will all make sense in a moment. What I'm going to do with this card words, I'm going to put it behind our green, and I'm going to turn the opacity down. All right, now everything will make sense in just a moment. We're about to do some magic. I'm going to hold Alt, pull this over. Peg says, I'm a developer though. Hey, even better. If you're already in developing, hey, maybe you need a platform to design. You know, this is what you need. Just get the visuals and then start developing. And especially if you're using Anima, right? If you're a developer, if you just get the design down, you literally can export, and you can trust me as a developer, there's a lot of companies that utilize the plugin to literally have either designers or developers port clean working code. And you can start messing with that rather than having to wait for a designer to do it, or, you know, it just helps close the gap just a little bit faster, either on the developer side or on the designer side, because Anima also exports in React as well. Hey, Brandon, are you sitting in a UFO? It's actually it's my business office, but yes, I am sitting in it. All right, let me see. Where was I? So what we're going to do now is I'm actually going to scale. We're going to move this path. What is this? 5, 6, 9. We're going to put this. We're going to call this the back plate, and we're going to name this the back plate over here too. You've been wondering what it was. Well, now you know. It's the office. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to select this top point here. I'm going to hold Shift, select the left and right points, and I'm going to pull it up. And we might have to finagle this a little bit. Let's see. Left, right. Whoops. I'm just going to pull this up. It is going to look wacky for a hot second, but we're going to fix that. So I'm going to pull this straight up. And now we're going to fix these bottom points. So we're just going to pull these out, just like this. There we go. And now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this all the way up, holding Shift so it stays centered. Bring that to the top there. And now we're going to start making some of our shifts. So we're going to pull, because what we want to do is we want to start making these cards and start these to essentially shift. So I'm going to pull this group up. I'm going to have it centered. And now this is where the magic is. This rectangle, now we're going to turn it back from a circle to a square. We're going to scale it. We're going to click our icon. We're going to reduce the opacity. I think we're reducing the opacity. Yes. We're going to make it invisible. And now our words that we turned to basically 0, we're going to turn the opacity up. Oops. I think I might have messed something up. Oh, no, I didn't. I just put them behind the rectangle that they're supposed to be in front of. All right, we're going to fix that. We actually need these in front of our rectangle. So I need to fix that in this piece over here. I misput them. Card words should be in front of green. And I'll fix that over here as well. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to scale this. And I'm going to put everything where it needs to be. So right now it's kind of looking a little like a hot mess. I'm going to center everything. I'm going to scale this maybe to 16. I'm going to center the text in our button. And I am going to round out our square just a little bit so we have some rounded corners. Vanessa says it looks great. Why, thank you. We appreciate it. And now I'm going to utilize this yellow, and now we're going to make this card. So we're going to pull it up. We're going to select the icon, make it invisible. We're going to select our rectangle. We're going to scale it up. And you see it goes from being a circle to a rectangle. And I'm just going to hide it right, just pull it up just a little bit. And now we're going to be working with our last 2 icons. And what we want to do is we want to make them pill-shaped. And I'm going to kind of scale this out just like this. All right, so now we're going to work with our icons here. We're going to move them to the center, again, holding shift till we get that nice little indication that we are centered. And now I can select our rectangles, and I'm just going to pull them out vertically. So how I'm doing this is I control click. We're now selecting that circle. I'm going to actually, I wonder if I can just pull it out this way. Yes, I'm going to pull it out to the right rather than holding Alt. I'm going to pull it out to 130 width, and I'm going to copy that number. And actually, I'm not going to copy the number. I'm just going to remember the number, and I'm going to pull out this just like this to 130. Because I feel like if I just do 130, if I just copy and paste, it might go the other way, and I'm not trying to deal with that. And from here, I'm just going to select my icons and center them in our button here. Double clicking. Boom, blam. And I can make them bigger, smaller if I want. But now they'll scale with the icon in the center. But whatever I do, if I decide I want it this size, 164, I'm just gonna do, we'll rock with 174. I'm gonna do whatever we do to one side, we'll do to the other. And just make sure that we center it. There we go. All right, perfect. And I can large scale these up if I want or not. But let's take a look at what we have. Let's start animating here because we have short time. I do see that the buttons over here are a little bit thicker. We could do that. Let's just pull these up just a little bit. Keep them circly. What was the height on this? We'll do 70 for height. I'm just adjusting things, making sure everything is vertically and horizontally centered. That our radiuses are the same. All right, cool. All right, so now let's get into the animation because we're essentially done. So we're gonna go to our prototype here, and we are going to select our little doodad thing here. Our little drag is called. And essentially, we want to say, hey, when something happens to this element, go to this next page. And we have a couple triggers. We can do it for tap, we can do it to drag. In this case, we're gonna do drag. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. Actually, let's go back here for a second. And we wanna make sure that the action is auto-animate. It doesn't really matter for drag triggers, what type of easing you have, but you know, you guys, if you watch me, I love snap. So we're gonna stick with that. And the magic will be unveiled once we actually see the prototyping or the animation. So let me go ahead and just pull this over here. And this arrow, basically, because Adobe XD is smart, is it knows my last settings that I did for my last prototype action. So what I did on this prototype action, it basically applies to this as well. It's another drag animation. So let's see what we got. So we can drag this up, and as you guys can see, there is a little bit of funk with our little, essentially our text here, and we can finagle that. But essentially, if we turn this off, let's turn these off really quick. And I think what messed it up was us like squeezing and shrinking the actual text. Let me go ahead and turn the card words off. But let's just take a look at the cards, because the text is super easy to fix. But this animation with the cards, that's essentially what we're trying to do. And that's pretty simple, guys. So we have our cards. We can put whatever we want in there. We're done. That's pretty much it. And for the words, guys, it's pretty simple. Essentially, when you guys download this, take a look at how, because in the files that you download, you have the finished file, so you guys can break it down, you guys can see exactly how it's built, and you'll be able to do whatever it is that you want with it. But with that said, we have about like 3-ish minutes left, and I do want to give some love to those already in the Discord, because there's some fire in here that cannot be not witnessed. First off, I want to give a huge shout out to Salem. Let's take a peek at this on Behance, because this was absolutely fire. And by the way, before we jump into this, if you are submitting your work on Behance, please make sure that you include in the tags of the project XD Daily Challenge, please, so we can send it out to people. We can have it in our curated content because we want to show love to you guys. So let's go down to the prototype because they've really been putting fire in all of their work this week in our XD Daily Creative Challenge. Umacorn, you're welcome in advance. All right, we got 2 minutes. Y'all know I'm not trying to get cut off today. We're trying to keep clean and pristine. But again, this was very well done. 5 stars. And if you haven't already joined the Discord and you're wondering where to submit your work or where exactly it is, it's in the feedback section in challenges. So please submit your work there as well. There's some really cool stuff in here by Lauren. Well, really everybody, but I wanted to holler at Lauren. This is what we were doing yesterday. If you guys want to check that out, watch yesterday's content, download the file, and yeah, learn to utilize masks and some really cool automation techniques. But listen, ladies and gentlemen, as much as I want to show all the things in Discord, I can't. We're out of time, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming today. Wade, thank you so much for being awesome as always. Ruth, Umacorn, everybody, Vanessa, I want to thank you guys for coming out. And with that said, don't forget to register for Adobe Max. Like this video, and I'll see you at Adobe Max hanging out, and that's it. All right, guys, enjoy your day, enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time. Peace.